Good evening. Concerns are being raised about the methods being used by developers and residents to deter birds from nesting in trees. At one property in Oxford, a homeowner has installed spikes in his tree to prevent the birds from landing there. Meanwhile, more than 300,000 people have signed a petition calling for the nets used at construction sites to be made illegal. Tonight, one major house builder has told us they'll no longer be using them. Angela Walker reports.
Blackthorn Meadows, a new housing development in the village of Ambrosden, just outside Bicester. But not everyone is welcome. These nets are to stop birds from setting up home here. Developers aren't allowed to disturb an active nest, but they can deter birds from building one in trees and hedgerows where they're working. Netting's also been used elsewhere, in places like Quainton in Buckinghamshire, and I took this photo last week in Longhamborough, although the nets in both places have now been removed.
They should just do any tree felling or hedge felling that they need to do outside of bird nesting season. There's no reason they have to do it when the birds are trying to nest. With proper planning, proper scheduling, do the works outside of bird nesting season, and netting is completely unnecessary. And I've just pulled this scrap of netting from the hedge behind me, and as you can see, it's the kind of thing birds can get trapped in. But not only that, when they take them down, it's not always done properly. This plastic just comes apart. This is just being released into our environment.
Legislation protects nesting birds, as it rightly should, but developers are under a lot of pressure to bring forward sites for development, to start building houses to meet the housing crisis, and therefore a delay when they can't do tree works between March and August means that their development is put back. It means we can't start on site, and it means we can't build the houses that we need.
In a statement, developers at Blackthorn Meadows Bellway told us they will no longer use bird nets. Netting trees is a common procedure for house builders, but following feedback, we've reviewed this, and going forward we are removing any netting from our developments. It's not just developers using controversial methods. In Oxford, these spikes have been put up in a tree outside someone's house. The owner didn't want to comment, but ecologist Hugh Warwick believes it's to prevent bird mess on his car.
The presence of spikes on a tree is something which I feel is moving into a different league. It's preventing birds from using their very natural habitat. And it is disappointing. It is a shame, because what it shows is the great disconnect we've got from the natural world.
His tweet about the spikes has been shared hundreds of times. Meanwhile, a petition to make bird nets illegal has been signed by more than 330,000 people. That means Parliament will now consider debating the issue.